has created. Let's see some of the important structures, which the important files in the Oracle home directory. So let's go into the Oracle directory and let's see the existing important directories in the home directory. Go into Oracle, we go into Oracle here, go into product and 10.2.0. okay, and right now we are having a database called Angel. So if you go into admin section, we have got folders. Here would be the different databases like Angel. Right now a dump, now this is a dump. If you are using audit, then the audit related information is stored in a dump. B dump is background dump. Here background related information are stored. So here you can see an file called alertangel.log. This is an alert file and this is modified every time, like whenever you start the database, whenever you shut down, and if there is any problem in the database, that information is stored in the alert.log file. So we are right now seeing all this in a Windows environment. So you see here, whenever the database is started, all those information is stored in alert log file. The latest information about the Oracle database is stored here at the bottom. You see the database was started and all those related information are stored here. This is June 21 and this is June 21, what time, what is happening, everything. So as a DBA, it is your duty to check the alert log, and if there is any error, it's mentioned in this alert log. In Unix, you can use a command like tail -5 -10 and the alert.log file. What it would do is it will show you the last 10 lines of that particular file, and in this way you don't need to browse the full alert log file. You can see the bottom immediately. That's possible in Unix. And so this was alert log file and it's existing in background dump destination. Again we have folders like C dump, that is core dump. So suppose if there is a crash or something, so that operating system related crash related information is stored here. See here, there was a crash and those information is stored here. So sometimes these files are required by Oracle to solve some problem when a database crashes because of operating system. Then we got another folder called dp dump, that is for data pump, and data pump related files are stored here. Then p file, that is a parameter file, and here parameter files are stored here. While in u dump, Oracle related user dump destination, this is an user dump destination. What happens is when you fire any tracing using SQL, those tracing related information is stored here, and using tkprof you can interpret its output. So those were all the folders in admin folder, and inside admin folder there is this Angel folder. These are the different folders inside it: a dump, p file, u dump, b dump, c dump, and dp dump. We also have important folders called flash recovery area, that's below the Oracle home, and here flash is mentioned the name of the database, and here flash back related information is stored. And there's a folder called Ora data. Inside it all the database files are stored. Now let's understand something called Oracle Flexible Architecture. Oracle Flexible Architecture is a standard of how to store your database, how to store the data files, how to name the files, how to name the control files, how to name the redo log file, and how to arrange these files so that the performance of the database is optimum. So what you do is, let me show you an example of it. Suppose I query the table select file name from dba underscore data files. You see these are all system generated files, and you see the number 01. So the Oracle flexible architecture, this is some set of rules and standards which a DBA follows. Why does he follow these standards? Is because it helps you in managing large databases, and it also helps you in maintaining large databases where there are a lot of databases. So once when you follow a standard, it is easier for you to manage and maintain. So there are file naming standards, there are how you store the data file standards. By storing those ways, by storing the way of an Oracle flexible architecture, you can give an optimum performance of your database, and also you can restore your databases more. The database meantime, the database crash won't occur much on that sort of databases. So Oracle flexible architecture is a very important process. So now let's see some file naming standards of Oracle flexible architecture. You see 01 here on the data file, that indicates this users is the name of the table space, and 01 there's only one data file present there. So if the number of data files increases, the number also increases, and since it's a data file, dbf is the extension for it. So this is the file naming standard for data file. Similarly, for redo log file, we have an extension of .log. .log indicates it's a redo log file, while for control file we have an extension of CTL, which indicates that this is a control file. You see CTL indicates it's a control file. Now assume that you got an hard disk, you got around 3-4 hard disk. How would you store those files? So for that, Oracle flexible architecture tells you how you should store those files. Now let's understand more about layout, how to lay files in Oracle flexible architecture. What would happen is the data files would be stored in a different hard disk, while redo logs files would be stored in a different hard disk, and control file would be in a different hard disk. Might be the mirror of redo would be in a different hard disk again. And why is it done in this manner? Might be the temporary files, the temporary table space file would be in a different hard disk. The reason why it is done like that is because say now redo log, when it is in a different hard disk, it improves the performance, because redo log is like the contention for a hard disk which is having redo log would have a lot of contention, while data file would have a different set of contention, and control file would be in 2 different hard disks. Reason is, if there's a crash in one hard disk, you still can recover because the control file is existing in a different hard disk. So this layout arrangement is all decided through Oracle flexible architecture. And what is Oracle flexible architecture? It is a standard which has to be followed while laying files, while renaming files, or naming files. That's it for now.